Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Trading Academy. In the last segment, we were getting into those income assets. Since it is the New Year's resolution time, people are looking for more income strategies in their life. And that's what we teach is different strategies, different concepts, techniques on the financial markets, on income strategies. If you missed seats to that investing class that we do here locally, you can simply just text the word investing to the number 210, and that's for 2 seats for that class right here in Bloomington. We also have these across the metro. We're doing a campaign across the metro here in multiple cities, but we have our state-of-the-art facility located right here in Bloomington. If you missed the podcast, make sure to subscribe to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. That's Investing and Trading Live. You can also go to our website, which is otamin.com. That's otaminn.com. So since we did talk about those income assets in the last segment, we got to cater to our wealth people. We have a lot of, and it's been cool because we've been seeing a lot of very successful people coming into these workshops that we do here at the Academy, and they want to do different things. They want an income strategy. They want a second, or maybe it's a third or fourth for them to build that wealth. But they also have those wealth buckets already established, which would be like maybe a 401k, and maybe an IRA, 403b, TSP, whatever that may be, or maybe it's just a savings account that they want to be able to be smart with. Utilize that capital to continue to grow that, because as we know, it's not getting any cheaper to live, it's not getting cheaper to retire, it's getting more expensive for everything, and they're looking for a resolution. And yes, since it is New Year's resolutions times, they are looking for a resolution for their retirement accounts. So let's talk about those wealth assets. Also, obviously, everybody knows of stocks. Stocks is a great wealth generating asset to use. Right. And they call it as a longer term strategy because you want stocks to grow over time, which hopefully that's what they do. The problem is they grow slowly, for one, but also you're subject to fluctuations in the markets. When you talk about that all the time, you're subject to those fluctuations. So you have to have strategies in those wealth accounts that produce returns no matter which way the market goes. So it's been a great last few months of the year. Actually, the market, I think the S&Ps were up, I looked at it earlier, about 60% on the was it 60% on the year? 20%. No,
20%.
20% on the year. My mistake. My math is a little off.
40%. But remember that all of that gain that the Nasdaq, the S&P, and the Dow has achieved this year in 2023 was just recuperating what they lost in 2022.
You're right.
A lot of people look at this as, this is a great year. It was, but for a lot of people, and most people, in fact, when we're talking about your wealth, the wealth part of your life, that typically is a stock portfolio or something that's more long-term. Those took a big hit. 2022, almost every 401k was down significantly, 20-25%.
Yep.
So that meant that your portfolio had to fight just to get back to where it was. So this basically was, a lost 2 years.
Yeah. So those are the facts out there. So market didn't do what they call it on the streets, jack, in the last couple of years. So, but there are other assets to utilize to have potential returns and strategies designed for that as the market fluctuates, but also not even utilizing your whole bucket of capital. Exactly. So it's being efficient. So let's talk about those other assets that I know you talk a lot about with the people coming to the Academy here.
Yeah, we always talk about the difference between the income part of your life and the wealth part of your life and how you access the market and the different parts of the market for that. But you had started out by saying for the people that already had a wealth portfolio, already had kind of maybe a nice chunk of money saved up for retirement, which probably took a little bit of a hit last year and maybe came back to where it was at the beginning of 2022, at the end of 2023, if that makes sense. Oh, by the way, before we go on, I have to make a correction.
Okay.
Because earlier in the show, when you sang something, I don't even remember what it was.
It was something really good. That's how good it was.
Fantastic. And I said that you sung last year. That was a grammatical error.
You're right, it is.
Sing was the right word. You sang some songs last year. So I apologize for all those people out there that are going, how could he do that? And I'm sorry about that. So I just had to correct that.
I could tell you why, because we have a lot of grammatical errors.
Grammatical.
Grammatical errors.
Well, that was one right there, folks.
What is that other one? Magnificent Seven. See, I've been practicing that one.
That's good.
So there's just some certain words that are hard to. Is it enunciate or?
Enunciate. All right, let's get back.
Let's get back to the topic.
We know about
it's
so,
new. We've had too much fun over the new year.
Right. So if you have a wealth portfolio, now what do you do with it? How do you make sure that that is going to take you through the retirement years you have? And the good news is we're living longer. In fact, I had a stat here: 85% of the 85% of the population that's at or over 100 are women.
Wow.
And that's something we need to talk about too. How all of you guys out there that maybe want to give your wife a little bit of a gift because they're going to live longer than you. Maybe you want to work on your financial situation to make sure that they're comfortable after you are maybe no longer here to help with that part of your life.
A lot of people have been coming to do that to make sure that their family is taken care of when they're gone. So it's not just about them or you, it's about the legacy for the family.
Right. So if you have a wealth portfolio, how do you make sure it stays with you? Not only stays with you, but there's enough there for you to live the lifestyle you want, or maybe improve your lifestyle over where you are now, or at the very least maintain it. There's three components to a successful retirement strategy. One is protection. So if you do have that wealth portfolio, something you worked hard for, maybe you've scrimped a little bit over the years and maybe not done some things to put more money into your retirement account. You want to start enjoying it now. You have to make sure it's protected.
Script, is that another word?
Yes, it's a real word.
Okay, that's new. That's different.
Look at it, Google it. So you want to make sure that it's protected. The number one thing that we teach our students, no matter if you are looking at the income part or the wealth part of your life, is how to protect what you have. Number two, when you retire, one of the things that you've relied on all your life is gone. That's the income from your job. But the bills, the cost of living, the cost of being alive is still there. Maybe it even has gotten a little more expensive. So how do you generate income? Well, we show you strategies you can use in your retirement accounts to generate income off of what you have instead of just depleting that pile of money that you've worked so hard for. Learn how to generate income off of it. And then really I think most financial advisors, most of the pros out there would agree with me, you have to have some market exposure. What we do for our students, we actually will kind of manage that part of their portfolios, show them what's working, because there is never going to be one part of the economy or one part of the market that is always overperforming. So you have to be a little selective, and it might mean moving your money from one area to another area. There's a proper way of doing that, and it's not guessing at which area might be the best performing one. It's using the proper knowledge and the proper skills to use that knowledge. So in retirement, those are the three components that we want to make sure you have. There are assets and there are assets that you can use without touching anything in your retirement account to actually improve the returns of it, to provide that protection. And the other thing I think that's important is to have a proper asset allocation. And that doesn't mean having stocks or mutual funds that cover the different components of the economy. I mean, that is important, but that's participating in only one asset class. That asset class becomes very highly correlated. That's the equity component. That becomes very highly correlated when we go through corrections or bear markets. And all of pretty much everything goes down in a bear market, including the good companies that just get punished with the bad companies. So, learn how to make sure that if we do go through corrections, you understand how to benefit and not just watch your portfolio kind of be decimated or take a ride down south, which you don't want it to do. Make sure that you can benefit in those, and those are some of the assets that we talk about in these classes that Josh talks about.
Yep.
We'll show you how you have the opportunity to participate in different market movements.
Yeah, we do have classes specifically on those different assets to utilize for retirement account, IRA, 403B. There's different things you can or cannot do with them, but it'd be nice to find out and know what those are, right? So that's why we have these classes specifically on retirement. If you want to come in and see what those retirement assets are, just text the word investing to the number 210. 210 for 2 seats for investing class right here at the Academy, specifically on wealth assets. Text the word investing to the number 210, or simply go to invest with OTA.com and you can get your seats there. It's our landing page, and you can pick your own date there. We have several dates on the calendar coming up in the new year because it's New Year's resolutions time, and let's make those finances a priority. Coming up next, we got one segment for the end of 2023, and I'm going to do a quick end of year update, but also what are some of the opportunities for 2024. We have great moves in the markets all year long, and what you see moving forward as far as potential opportunities, volatility. Let's talk about that coming up next. Stay tuned for that. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. We will be right back. That's loud in the ear. I said that's loud in the ear. I got to call this guy back. It's my meeting.